Hello, class. This is Stephen. I am still getting over an illness, so apologies for my voice. I wanted to talk a little bit about the research paper, and so for those of you who are wondering how that's supposed to operate. So week one, you were going to read Curious Researcher, the introduction, and I've left that assignment open and just posted the quiz for that. So Curious Researcher introduction. And then the first chapter of Curious Researcher talks about how to move through a set of topics that you brainstorm. So what are you interested in? What are you curious about? So looking for things you're curious about. So exercise 1.1 basically says, make that list, then pick one of those things, and then ask a bunch of questions about it. Factual questions, opinion questions, that kind of thing. And you'll read this, but I'm sort of trying to reinforce it. The reason I assign this chapter is so that you can see that you start with curiosity. You don't start with a topic like gun control. You start with, what do I care about right now? What's calling to me? What do I want to know more about? What am I curious about? So you'll go through that, and then that will take you through some steps to go from a topic to a focus question. And this, like you'll see in Curious Researcher, the introduction, the difference between a report and a research essay is that an essay is guided by a focus question. What are you trying to answer? And the answer to that will be your research. You're going to try to use research to find out what other people have said about that topic. So, not, let's say, wildfires, that's a topic, but what's the question you want to ask? Well, are wildfires going to be the new norm? What does it take to stop wildfires? How much does it cost? Are we doing enough to fight them? How do we protect people better? Are there things that we can do? Anyway, those are kinds of focus questions. And then maybe the ultimate focus question would be, okay, basically, what causes these wildfires to be so much worse than they have been? And what can we do to, if not stop them, respond to them? So that might be a focus question. So that's chapter one. And then chapter two, you're going to be getting your research. So I'm going to ask you to get certain kinds of research from the library. So some articles from databases, some articles from the internet, a couple books, a couple magazines, a couple newspapers. So I want you to see that you can do research across a number of kinds of sources. For an online class, we don't go to the library. So I'm going to have another little talk about the library resources and how to use those. The most important thing is it's really helpful to go to the library, talk to reference librarians and tell them if you're having any trouble. I want to know, I need some help finding information on this focus question. This is my specific topic. There are databases on our library website that I've linked to that are great, and all you have to do is know how to log in using your Evergreen ID. So that's the research paper. I would hope that in the next week or so you would have a topic. Would be finished with chapter one and moving on to chapter two, which is getting those sources. So again, this was about research paper. There's other pieces that I'll be talking about. I hope you have a great night, and I look forward to hearing any questions you might have and looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to write about. All right, take care. Good night.